Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching Let Your Voices Be Heard podcast show. And I am your host, Marcy De La Paz. And thank you for watching. Um, our guest co-host, Shashina Gibbs, unfortunately was not able to come, but I hope that you feel better, Shashina, and hope to have you on our next episode. And our original co-host, Myra Sanchez, she'll be back next month, hopefully. So, yes. For sponsorships, of course, you want to be able to be one of our sponsors for our show, please reach out to me. You can send me a message or an email. You can find my information at our social media platforms. Let Your Voices Be Heard, a podcast show just like that on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. And while you're there, please subscribe and watch all our past videos. So definitely. So we're excited today. Who we have as our guest. We have, of course, Miss Staten Island, Gabriella Marinelli.
Yes.
Thank you, Gabriella, for being here today in this crazy weather.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, thank you. And she's wonderful. She reached out and she was telling me about all of the wonderful things that she was doing. And I think that definitely I wanted to have a conversation with her about it. So she is here today. And we want to be able to ask a lot of questions and see, what it is that she is bringing today to the table. So, Gabriella, thank you so much for being here today with us.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited. I feel like there's a lot to learn about pageantry, the misconceptions, what we do for our community. So this is the perfect platform to lay it all out.
Definitely. And I appreciate you coming in today with this crazy weather.
I know.
So, Miss Staten Island, right?
Yes,
Oh,
Miss Staten
wow.
Island 2026 and the Miss America opportunity. So it was a big goal of mine to get this title, to earn this title, and I'm really, really happy that it happened.
Oh, my God. Well, congratulations on the title.
Thank you.
And you wear the crown very well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but not only with the beauty and brains, right? And like you have so much going on as Miss Staten Island, and I think that it's such a great platform that you're able to bring on a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about today, right? So definitely let's start a little bit on what got you to do the pageantry.
Yeah.
And how did that start for you?
Well, I was always actually a girl who grew up watching Miss America on TV, watching those live broadcasts and being like, wow, like I want to be one of those girls one day. But it never felt like there was just a straight path in. I never knew how to get involved. But my dance teachers at Rhythm Central, they were involved with the Miss Staten Island organization. So whether they were a producer, a current title holder, or a former title holder, we had a couple of connections. And while I was in my dance class, my teacher, Miss Stephanie Accardo, she was Miss Richmond County. She was giving us a speech about what the organization is, what pageants are, and about her community service initiative. And I was really intrigued. I was like, this is like our local version of a Miss America. It's so cool. And so my dance teachers really pushed me for it. And I wouldn't say I was shy, but I definitely lacked confidence, but I was eager to go after it. I loved dancing, and I heard talent is a big component of pageantry.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? If I feel confident in any part of this, it's the dancing part. So I'll have a good time in talent. And so it was 10 years ago when I started my pageant journey. I was 13 years old. I was in 8th grade.
Wow.
And I just entered the pageant. My dance teachers prepped me as much as they could, and I was just like walking in kind of like, I don't know really actually what's happening, but I'm going to have fun anyways. And I ended up being first runner-up at my first time out there, and I was going up against a bunch of high schoolers, and it was so cool that I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here. I'm getting first runner up. And then I started to understand it throughout the next year. And I was then a freshman at St. Joseph Hill Academy, and I gave it another try. I was like, I'll try this out again. And I earned the title of Miss Richmond County's Outstanding Teen in 2017. And that was a huge year of personal growth for me because here I am getting my footing in high school, but also I'm learning so much about myself, so much about my community. And it was so cool to just really become confident and comfortable in myself, being able to go into mock interviews, learn what I'm passionate about. I worked with veterans a lot at the time. I did Valentine's for veterans and learned how to host fundraisers and initiatives,
Right.
and get involved in the community.
Right.
And so I went to Miss New York's Outstanding Teen that year, because if you have a local title, you're automatically going to compete for the state title.
Okay.
And it was really fun. I made a lot of friends, and I placed fourth runner up there. And I was just like, holy cow. It's cool to feel like, you accomplished something.
Right.
And then throughout the years of high school, it started getting hard. I was trying to compete again. I did compete. I didn't win. And then after a while, it started to mess with my mental health, just because I was in a competitive high school,
Right.
trying to excel in school, being a competitive dancer, trying to put my best solos out there,
Right.
while also then being in pageantry, which is like you're putting yourself in front of a panel of strangers and asking you to judge them, basically. Asking them to judge you.
Right.
So I decided to step away from pageantry for a bit, because it wasn't fulfilling my joy anymore. My head wasn't in the right space. If I was doing pageantry, I needed to do it for the right reasons, and
Right.
it's to give back to your community,
Right.
to have great community service initiatives, and I could just feel myself swaying from that. So I left for a couple of years, and then throughout college I thought about it. I was at Hofstra University. I was on the dance team there. We had won 3 national championships. We were Team USA for one of the years. And I was studying television and business. I was busy, but I was always like, pageantry is still a thing. So when I moved back home to Staten Island, I really wanted a way to get back into the community, because
Right.
I found myself feeling disconnected after a couple of years just not being there in the
Right.
community.
Right.
And the best way to do that, and to stay active and to continue dancing, it was to compete in the Miss Staten Island and Miss Richmond County organization. And it's like a familiar face. All of the board members when I was a teen were still there, still running it, and they still are today.
Right.
And so they know who I am. They know what I bring to the table, and they were so encouraging to have me back and just to put myself out there to compete. And so I was excited. I was just like, whatever happens. At that point, I had just started my internship with ABC's GMA3, and so it was cool to have my career kind of like starting, taking off, but also trying something else on the side, and
Right.
having something to go to after work, and always, keeping myself busy with pageantry. So I gave it a shot, and I earned the title of Miss Richmond County, which was just so exciting. Like, I didn't expect it. I was
Right.
just like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, like, I have my career to work on.
Right.
But that was a huge year of just like understanding personal branding, because since I started as a teen, social media changed so much.
Right.
And the way you market yourself, especially in pageantry,
Right.
you have to show like what you bring to the table, what you know, how to connect with community members over social media, how to fundraise on social media, all of that. Like,
Right.
there's so much to share about pageantry. So I learned that throughout Miss Richmond County. I got like a Canva account and started making all the graphics. Like, I had my whole feed set out. So that was really cool. I went to a lot of events. I made a lot of great connections that I've been able to now use as currently Miss Staten Island.
Right.
And building strong relationships, and built really strong foundations with people. And then when I went to Miss New York, then I got 3rd runner-up, and I really went in like no expectations to Miss New York. I just want to have fun. That's always
Right.
what I wanted. I never
Right.
wanted to lose the fun in it, and I didn't. When I went to Miss New York, I met some really amazing girls that I'm still very close with today, because
Right.
pageantry is not what it seems. No one is like hating each other. No one's cutting each other's dresses up in the back. Like, we all have so much going for us. And
Right.
we are all busy people who are just very passionate about giving back to their community.
Right.
And so the support is amazing. And that was something that I learned by competing at Miss New York. And so I got 3rd runner-up there. I won the preliminary fitness award. I was on cloud 9. I was like, I basically won. Like, I don't know. Like, I loved the young woman who won Miss New York. I was so close with her throughout the entire week that we were together, and
Right.
even afterwards. So it was just all really fulfilling. And so I took the year off after that, because I accepted a position with Good Morning America as an executive assistant. So I was like, I need to focus on this.
Awesome.
Kind of get my footing here. Like, the hours are crazy. Like, I just have to figure it all out. And So I did that, but then I saw all of the girls competing for Miss New York that year, and I was like, I really, really miss it. Like, I miss being with everyone. It was so much fun. So I was just like, I'm putting my gowns back on. I'm going back into interview prep, and I want to try again for Miss Staten Island. I just knew I would go back at some point. Like, my story wasn't over, my job wasn't over in pageantry.
Right.
So over the summer, I started prepping again for pageants. And in September, I competed for Miss Manhattan. It didn't work out the way I wanted. I really wanted that title so bad. But then I was like, you know what? Could always come home, go back to Miss Staten Island. I haven't been Miss Staten Island yet. And so I took what I learned from Miss Manhattan. I applied it to what I needed to do in Miss Staten Island and throughout the competition.
Right.
And I was like, it's in God's hands. You know what? If it's meant to be, I'll go to Miss New York. If not, like, there's something else in store. I know it. And so I felt super confident walking into the interview room of Miss Staten Island. Like, the energy was just there, and it felt like it was meant to be. That's how it was meant to work out, was to represent Staten Island, my hometown, where I'm from. Like, there's no place better than this community. And so when I was crowned Miss Staten Island, it was so emotional. It was like all these 10 years, all the years leading up to this, all the trials and tribulations and all the accomplishments at the same time, it all came together in that moment. And now I'm working really hard as Miss Staten Island to achieve all of my goals, but to make Staten Island more of a media literate place, to make all of our nonprofits, just like serve them as much as I could, make them feel, seen in the Staten Island community as much as possible. So it's felt really great.
That's amazing. I love it. So, what is the age limit to be able to be into these pageants? Because I'm just curious.
It's a really great question. So you can start competing as early as 14 years old. The rule had changed after I competed at 13. They moved it up to 14, and now the cap is 28 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it really changed over the years, honestly, to be more inclusive in the way that the age category is. It used to be only up until like 25 years old.
Right.
Now it's up to 28. They have a wide range of talents that are accepted in the talent category. Instead of swimsuit, it's fitness now. So there's been a lot of changes, but it's been great. It gives more girls the confidence to get up there and try something new.
Definitely, and it opens up more opportunities for other young ladies to be able, because sometimes they probably think like, oh, maybe I'm just too old for this and I can't do it. Yep. So it's like, but open it up until 28. I mean, 28, you're still trying to figure out, life.
Right. And Miss America Opportunity, it's a scholarship organization. So there's still girls that are practicing law or getting their doctorate degree or something and the scholarship money, it goes to school that you're currently enrolled in, or if your local organization could give it to your loans, it does make a difference.
Right.
And so really opening up that age gap gives more girls the opportunity who are pursuing a higher education to also get it paid back.
As we had our conversation briefly about what it is that you want to do and what you want to use your crown for.
Yep.
Definitely, I know that you mentioned how you want to be able to look into how social media is affecting a lot of our youth, which I think is so important that you're bringing up that, because we need someone like you from your generation to bring light into that situation. There's so many things that are happening. Technology has changed over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And especially with social media. And I think that not only for, for young generation, but also, I think it affects everybody around.
Every generation, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about what it is, how you wanted to get there.
Yep.
And what it is that you want to be able to bring out into the world and let people know what is happening with the technology that we're using today. How is it affecting our young generation, and what it is that you really want to do about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Miss Staten Island, it's my community service initiative called Mindful Media, promoting media literacy education. So as I came up with this. You know, I was just talking to my little brother one day. He was like 13 at the time. And he had said the most craziest statement and was just, I was like, where did you hear that? Like, where did you get that information from?
Right.
And he was like, well, I saw it on TikTok. I was like, well, did you look it up? Like, did you do any research behind it? Because that sounds really crazy. And I wish I remember what he had said. And then he looked it up and he was like, no, it was wrong. I was completely wrong. And I was just like, wow, like you actually just got so easily fooled
Right.
by that one post. And it
Right.
happens all the time, and that's how misinformation spreads.
Yes.
And then while working at Good Morning America, we cover a lot of scam stories, and you
Right.
see a lot of elderly people getting affected by scams
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
Whether it's Facebook or whatever links that they're clicking. You know, now you're getting text messages with fake links. And it's become a huge problem. And I realized,
Right.
I mean, for me, and I think for my generation, the people that are closest in age to me,
Right.
we were raised where there was like no technology in the beginning of our years, where like
Right.
there was barely any social media.
Yeah.
And then there's the generation after me where it's like they only know a life with social media in it.
Yeah.
So there's like no regulation for it. And we're seeing countries where social media is being banned for
Right.
teenagers. And while I think that could be helpful, I think what could be more helpful is just educating people on how to use it. Because
Right.
when that ban is lifted, that still doesn't help users understand how to use the app correctly.
Right.
And so through Mindful Media, I have Mindful Media Mondays, where every Monday I post a debrief video about either it's a media literacy topic,
Right.
or something in the news that had happened over the weekend, something that I saw on TikTok.
Right.
This past week, I kept seeing things about exploding trees.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
was
heard
like,
about that.
I
That's
need
crazy.
to know if it's real. Like, I kept seeing TikToks about it, but I was like, I think this is AI. Like, now with AI, too, it's like you don't know.
It's so scary.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, this has to be AI. So then I took my media literacy skills to the test. I was looking up different articles online about these exploding trees. Turns out trees aren't actually exploding. They're just cracking and making loud sounds. But it's like the little things that people kind of blow up on social media and make it more dramatic and
Crazy.
and crazy, that it really gets in people's head. And then that's how media literacy, even from the smallest things,
Right.
that's why it's so important.
It is important. You know, well, I could talk about anybody that knows MySpace.
Yeah, yeah, right.
That was 100 years ago. I think Peter, what was his name? Anderson or something. He was always your first friend. But this is how it started,
Yeah.
right? People got caught up so much in that. I mean, I was younger then, and you know, I remember being caught up in those things too. And it was the craziest thing, you know, to even post anything on MySpace. There, you had to know and copy and paste codes.
Codes, yeah.
Then so many bugs will go into viruses into your
Yeah,
computer.
yeah.
It was just crazy, like people, but they didn't care. They just still want to be able to post those things, right? And I think that's where that hook, line, and sinker started,
Yeah.
where people started to get hooked up with those things, right? And it always starts somewhere. And, you know, from there stemmed, of course, later on Facebook, and then Instagram, then you had Twitter, and then now we're with TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
TikTok is crazy. I think it just blew up out of nowhere.
It is crazy.
The algorithm is insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now that the United States just bought it, like
Yes.
last week, a United States-based company, I wonder how the algorithm is going to change.
Yeah.
I know recently, within like the past week, they've already lost a lot of United States-based users who like
Right.
ended up deleting the app with reasons relating to the algorithm. But yeah, the algorithm is just, it's insane. Sometimes I'm just talking about something and it's like, oh, it's what I scroll on next. It's insane.
It is because like you said, now there's more high advanced technology. There's AI.
Yeah.
You know, so now it's like what I think with AI, I think there's a lot where we need to learn from that.
Absolutely.
And I think that you bringing up this, you know, wanting to give education to the youth, you know, people get caught up with that, and also with other elderly people too, you know, when they're on their phones and they think, oh my god, this is real. And
Yeah.
it's not. And I would say there's always going to be a glitch somewhere, because AI at this point right now is not perfect.
Right, right.
So, you know, you look at the hands, or you look at, you know, or something, or the lettering.
Something will give it away. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to see those things, but it's going to come to a time where even that is going to be perfected.
Oh, absolutely.
So now you could put out a full-blown video of something happening, and it's just, you know, listen, the technology, the platform is there. It's all depending on how they use it. You could use it for evil, you can use it for good,
right,
you know?
right.
With me, I'm a business person, right? So now I'm trying to learn the ins and outs of this AI thing, because yeah, a lot of people are using it for marketing.
Yep.
They're using it for branding. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. But then of course, other people, you have content creators that want to be, you know, putting out stuff that's not true, like the blowing up trees.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
so there's going to be a lot of confusion, and a lot of people are going to be, you know, like, well, what's really happening here?
Right.
What are we going to believe?
Right.
You know, so
And I think that's where media literacy does come in. And that's
Right.
why the tools of being able to analyze and evaluate what you're looking at on social media is so important.
yeah,
It
definitely.
helps, we have to get ahead of it before it literally gets ahead of us. Like AI is really beating us to it. And it's something that we could start to understand as a community and educate ourselves on, and even get educated by in schools if it was implemented. Or
Yeah.
else we're just going to be left behind.
You know, it just brings me back to that movie, The Terminator.
Yeah.
Where you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was just like, you know, the robot, but then you know, the other versions came in, and then when the other versions came in, the Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
his robot was more advanced.
Yep.
than the one with the liquid. Like, we're really coming into that.
I know, life imitates art.
Yeah, definitely,
It's
right?
kind of crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more, like what you're doing to make this happen, to progress, who you're working with, if you can't say.
yeah.
And just let us know a little bit more about it, so we could be on the lookout, because I think it's so important that you are doing something like this for your generation especially.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get my curriculums and information from Media Literacy Now and the National Association for Media Literacy Education. They are nonprofit organizations that raise funds to lobby to local representatives to
Right.
help pass bills to get media literacy in schools. Right now, New Jersey and Delaware are the only two states out of the whole country that have mandates and standards for media literacy education in schools. So we have a lot of ways to go. And I have gone into schools and spoke about media literacy in different ways, whether it's speaking to girls about what sextortions are and how teenagers are being sextorted online very easily.
Wow.
To body image, to marketing and what you're seeing about beauty products or the beauty standards online.
Right.
And then overall, just using my platform as Miss Staten Island to create my Mindful Media Mondays to reach everybody. So it's not like you just have to find me in a classroom to
Right.
understand what media literacy is, but really opening up the conversation to the rest of the community to engage with one another, to share with one another, and to give their input and feedback if they agree that there is something wrong here, that there's a lot of media literacy issues
Right.
or misinformation issues. And hopefully I could be that person that gives them the information that they need to debunk whatever they need and
Right.
also educate others.
Right.
I have gone to meetings with the office of Senator Scarcella Staten here in Staten Island to talk about media literacy education and why it's so important in schools. And last week I was at the North Shore Rotary here
Okay.
on Staten Island. I was able to tell them about my community service initiative, and they were really interested. And because for business owners, also media literacy skills are really important, because what you post on social media as an individual ends up being a reflection of a whole brand. And people right now are failing to realize that anything too political that you post can affect a brand and their image.
Definitely.
How you act outside of work.
Yeah.
And so they want to bring more attention to their employees about that and how it makes an impact on everyone. So there's a lot of different categories to really touch on media literacy. But that goes to show how important it is. It really touches all aspects of our lives.
It does. It really does, because we use it so much, right?
We're so reliant on it.
Oh my God! It's like you're walking out your house and it's like, my phone. Where's my phone?
No,
you know, and
real.
it's like it's part of you.
Yeah,
you know.
I have Verizon, and a few weeks ago when they had that service outage,
oh my God,
I was so scared of how reliant I was on my phone.
Yes,
I was like, wow, like I can't keep in touch with anyone right now, and that's like for me, I was like, that's a huge problem. I can't access like my emails from my phone. I was going home from the office, and I was just waiting for the bus, and I was like, I just hope I make it home. Like, I don't know. I can't call my mom to pick me up. Like,
I know.
I was
It's
like,
true.
this is crazy. But I was like, this is actually scary how used to this that we got.
Yeah, we're so reliant, and I
Yeah.
think ever since the cell phones has advanced on their own technology, right? Because back in the day when the cell phones first started, and I think I still have my first cell phone from 1990, whatever.
No way.
Yeah, I do. It was OmniPoint. Oh my God!
Oh my gosh.
Don't even. But this is what it is. From something so simple that we are carrying around, right?
Yep.
Now we have a full computer
Yeah.
in our hands, and that goes to show you, like, in the span of 20, 30 years, how much advance is gone.
Yeah,
I mean,
very
and it's
quickly.
just like you could do almost anything on your phone.
Yep.
Definitely, you know, and it's just you just talking on it, but everything else is there, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, it can be very scary on that. But so let me ask you, do you think that now, because of a lot of changes are happening with the technology and the social media things, on how it can have limited freedom of speech on that? Do you feel like it can take it to that point? Because I feel that the more that we shun and the more that we put online, right?
Yeah.
And we post online. Like for me, right, for instance, anything that I put that may be either political or something, I feel like if you look at your numbers, like, why did I lose a follower? Or what's going on with that algorithm, right? You understand?
Right.
So it's just like, okay, you know, if you post up something, you know, it's like they slow down your algorithm. And I noticed that a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think that's, I feel like I've heard that on Facebook. Do you use Facebook?
Yeah.
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 I think,
Well, we're on Facebook now, so.
I hope they're not pushing this away from the algorithm.
No, they better not.
I know.
Hi, Joe. Oh, he said buonasera.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
I don't know. It's really scary to think about things being censored online. And I feel like I heard that. It's not verified, but through TikTok just in the past week.
Yeah.
With the change of ownership.
Right.
And it is really scary because Meta laid off all of their content reviewers, basically. Like, they have no people reviewing content to take down for misinformation. But it'd be really interesting to see if they have these settings that are silencing specific political views or pushing them out of the algorithm.
I think so. I think, you know, because there was a lot of that happening when COVID was happening. So when COVID was happening, there was a lot of things that were being shut down.
Yep.
You know, misinformation. But I want to know, what happened to the fact checkers?
And they were all laid
What
off.
happened to them?
They were all cut. Like,
yeah.
Now it's up to the user to report if they
Right.
think something is misinformation, which is where our media well-being and our digital wellness comes into play. We
Right.
have to be accountable for what we allow in the algorithms. If we see something that is just not correct and not true, factful, we have the opportunity to report it. And now on Instagram, you can add notes about specific posts if you think there's context that's needed around it. But within media literacy falls health literacy, and that was huge during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Certain things just being completely wrong.
Right.
A lot of facts, nothing being flagged, and everyone is just seeing all of these numbers online without any context. And that is like the biggest part of fact checking with media literacy, especially for health, because you have so many people relying on it.
I know, definitely, it sure is. What would you say that if somebody wanted to find out something that is true, besides Googling, because you could Google anything, right? And Google is a big corporation.
Yeah.
So, who knows who's working behind the scenes there.
Yeah.
But how would you, or what would you suggest for those that want to know, where do you really get a reliable source to get true information, not just off of the social media?
Right. Yeah. And that's so important right now, because we're in an environment where it's just doom scrolling. Like you see information, you just scroll past it.
Right.
But it's so important to do the work behind it and look up the articles. You have to read into it. What you're seeing online on social media is a headline.
Right.
So it's not going to give you, right, exactly. It's not going to give you all of the context. The comments are not going to give you all of the context or the right information ever. So it is important to find multiple articles, compare what you're seeing in the sources, find an author or a journalist that you have trusted over a certain amount of articles or in a specific category that they're reporting on. I think that's so important, because then they make sure they have the right sources. They're hearing from both sides of the story. You can't just have a one-sided source either.
Right.
And that's why putting in the work is just so important.
It is important. It is important. And like I said, what you're doing is great, especially for your generation. It's something that they really need to learn, And talking about journalists too, like that I see more of independent journalists now.
Yeah.
And, they're out there, they're young, they want to, fish for the truth. And kudos to them, man, because, they're doing a lot of the work that a lot of medias are not. So definitely, if they're doing it out there and they're, bring it on, bring on those independent journalists, because
it really is important.
It really is, because at least, there has to be, outside of social media, has to be where we can rely on true information. So it's something that needs to be had. And that's what it is. So what are you looking forward to as far as your accomplishments to get that social media program out there?
Yes. I would love to now start connecting with public libraries. I think that's where we could have the open conversations, drop-in classes for students to come into after school, and not have it just a part of a curriculum if New York State decides that they can't fit it in. Having it at a public library, it just will give you all of the resources that you need. And hopefully I could partner with the Media Literacy Now and National Association for Media Literacy Education just a little bit further to make more of a guide for our generation. Having like a one-stop resource, basically, just for reminders.
Right.
Like, before you doom scroll today, remember this is what you're getting yourself into. And and on the topic of doom scrolling, it's just, we've seen the rates of depression and anxiety just skyrocket for Gen Z. And a lot of it just has to do with the amount of screen time and what you're consuming.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's like almost no stop to it because, like you said, there's everything on our phones. Like you could go on your phone just to go read an email, and suddenly you're like 7 TikToks in, you're getting a notification on Instagram,
Yes.
your friends are texting a group chat, and like
Yeah.
you're done for. You
Definitely.
can't put the phone down.
I know it's horrible. It really gets like I'm a little guilty of that.
Right.
You know, it's like I'm like how many hours do you limit yourself?
No, I don't. Well, like I, it's hard. I acknowledge when I doom scroll. I
Right.
don't have like the app limiting my scrolling. Like
right.
my app doesn't tell me, okay, you've been scrolling for 15 minutes, you're done. Just because like for work, I'm using it as a source to reach out to people for certain stories,
know.
looking for certain stories.
Yeah.
I know how much time I do use on it. I'm very self-aware of what I'm using my scrolling for, and I
Right.
think that's another important part is like, what are you doing while you're on your phone?
That's
what is
true.
the purpose of you being on your phone
Yep.
or being on these specific apps? But yeah, I mean, I am always thinking about limiting my scrolling, but sometimes
It's
like you
hard.
just you get wrapped into it.
You do. You get sucked in there, man. And it's
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, I have to put this phone down. Oh my God, my phone is dying. It's like, it's crazy.
And I'm like, suddenly it's dying 3 times a day. Like, that's not right. Like, that shouldn't be happening.
I know. It's
Why is it
not.
always on a charger?
I know, because we scrolling
Yeah,
so much and
I
we're doing
know.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, like you said, you know, it's all depending what you're doing, what you're scrolling, what you're looking for,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, I find myself, like, all my career, I've worked in front of computers. So
Uh-huh.
my vision is like, oh my God, you know, after a while, you know, you're like, ah. And, even though you have screen protectors and all that type of stuff, you still, you know, it's what you're putting in your mind too.
Yes.
Because sometimes I'm on my phone, I'm looking for something, and then I got sidetracked because something popped up in my screen, and I'm like, oh, what is
Oh,
this?
yep.
It's like, what's that movie Up, where squirrel. Squirrel.
No, for real. Especially with the ads too. As I'm scrolling on Instagram, I'm like, oh, what a cute dress. Like, did I need that? No.
No.
Now I'm on Safari scrolling and trying to online shop, and then I'm like, wait, how did I end up here?
Exactly.
How did I get here?
That's another thing too. I feel like your phone spies on you.
Oh,
Because it's like, I was just talking about this. Now, why did it pop up in my screen? So now, boom, some advertisement comes, and then clickbait, you know?
It's so easy. They
Yeah.
make it so easy.
It's scary.
I know.
It's really
so
scary.
It's concerning.
Listen, and especially for parents, right, with little kids. I mean, you see these little 1-year-olds already with tablets. I'm like, oh
hate
my
to see
God.
it.
I said no. I said, you know, thank God, my son, you know, he's on his 3rd baby. And but the oldest one, you know, they don't want to give her a tablet like that.
Yeah.
So they limit that time that she
Good.
has on screen. But there are parents out there that just, you know, the tablet is the babysitter.
Yeah,
So-
they're like, oh, it keeps the baby occupied. Well, I was preoccupied as a baby without an iPad. Like there are ways to do it instead of just putting a tablet in their face. And here they are just like touching on random things. By the age
know.
of like 3 or 4, they're scrolling on YouTube. You don't know what
By
they're
the
going to
ti-
scroll on.
I
Like,
know. It's scary too.
Yeah,
you know? There's so many
especially-
predators out there.
That's the thing. There's
Yeah.
so many predators. There's videos that look like they could be made for kids, and then they're not, and they're made by horrible people.
Yeah.
And parents need to really be mindful of what they're putting in front
I
of their
agree
kids.
100%. Yep.
With the parental controls as well, like there's so many ways to do that by monitoring your child's phones or tablets. It's so worth it because we've seen so many stories about predators,
Yeah.
about sextortion online, and it's starting at ages like 11 and 12 because they think they're talking to other people their age, people or friends that they met online. They're talking to old men or old women that are preying on
It's
them.
scary that you're saying that too, because not only online, now they're going into these video games with Roblox
Yep,
and
Roblox is
and
a
all
big
that
one.
stuff, and YouTube's, and like they have Discord, and so many new apps are popping up, and
Yep.
it's like you
It's hard
just
to keep track of it.
it is, especially for parents, but
Yeah.
that's why I was like, you have to make sure what your kid is watching, what they're doing, who they're talking to, because that's how things start.
Yeah.
And they take advantage of that. So I'm like, that's why I'm
No.
like, you have to distract them. You have to
Yeah.
more outside, play outside.
Absolutely.
Let the sun, grow your child, and get off the couch,
Yes.
and it's like, but it's hard if the parent does the same thing too. So
That's very true.
Yeah.
If they lead by that example, for
definitely.
sure.
So I always say it starts in the home, right?
It does. It does.
It starts in the home, and definitely, if you have to teach the parents, so the parent can teach the child.
Yep.
So definitely, those are steps to to look into as well.
Yeah, and that's why that's how I think I reach parents the most, is through my Mindful Media Mondays, or posting specific things about media literacy on social media, because that's where I'll find them. They're not coming to a class. They are not going to, any specific event for media literacy if they're a parent, just because they think they'll probably know it all.
Right.
And it's something for their kid to learn. But putting it in their feed online on social media, you actually could hear about it firsthand, see the examples that I'm giving, and so many people have actually shared it with their other friends and families, and I've gotten so much great feedback of like, wow, I didn't think of that, or like, I didn't even know that was fake, I didn't know that was misinformation, and it's just the truth of what we're seeing.
Yeah, definitely. It is. But I'm glad that at least, something like yourself is bringing awareness to this.
Thank you.
Because we definitely need that. Now, where do you see yourself in after all of this? Once all of this is successful for you,
Yeah.
because we do hope that it is successful.
Thank you.
And that you're able to stretch it as far as you can.
Yeah.
And also outside of Staten Island.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, where do you see yourself doing? Because you're young. How old are you?
Yes, I'm 23.
Oh my God, 23 brings me back. So what is your future besides you wanting to be? Do you see yourself in politics? Do you see yourself as, tell me, what do you see?
I love working in television, and I hope I could stay in television for as long as possible. Right now at Good Morning America, I'm an assistant. I'm an executive assistant, but
Nice.
I have the opportunity to produce and go out in the field, and I love field producing. I work on like our entertainment stories, or our we're working on 50 states in 50 weeks right now as we count down to America's 250th birthday.
Awesome.
And I have been working on those segments, traveling around the country to produce segments in different states, and I see that as a path to my future of being more of a producer behind the scenes.
That's wonderful. Well, I wish you much success on that.
Thank
You know, and also as far as what you're working on, GMA, it's crazy. Like I mentioned before, it's a great company.
Yep.
I was there for many years, and they have a lot of great supportive programs there too, from what I remember
Yeah.
while I was there.
Yeah.
So of course, there's entrepreneurships as far as you want it to be, what you just mentioned. You got to take advantage of these things,
For sure.
Like I said, you're young, you have a whole life ahead of you, but this is a great step that you're doing in the right direction.
Yeah.
And definitely hope everybody jumps on what she's doing and support this, because we do need it. We definitely do need this. There's a lot more on social media that's going to be coming.
Yep.
AI is just the beginning,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you can imagine 5-10 years from now how things are going to change.
Right.
I mean, we see these things happening in the movies,
I know.
and it's like, oh wow, this is crazy. Like we're coming into that stage now. So
I know, and that's actually why also pageantry and building relationships in our community is just so important, like keeping that human aspect in our community, and being able to go out and just do as much as we can for other organizations, advocate for ourselves too, because that's how I feel most confident in my job, or it was because of the skills that I've learned through pageantry, being able to public speak or write a speech that I need to do, being a content creator for pageantry and for my community service initiative, connecting with local officials, with nonprofit organizations to really do the steps that I need to make my goals come true and achieved. And I think sometimes with the ease of AI, it's just like, oh, this could do it for me. Like AI could do this, AI could do that. But like AI cannot replace our human connection with one another.
Definitely.
And so being in pageants and being Miss Staten Island, it connects me to so many people.
Yeah.
And it makes me just, I just love going out and being able to meet new people. Like last weekend, I went to a house for Community Resources of Staten Island.
Okay.
So it was so sweet to just be with all of these older women that wanted to know about pageantry. They decorated their own crowns, and I was like, oh, like, this is how I'm spending my Saturday, and it's just like the most wholesome thing ever. And like that's like such a special part of Miss Staten Island. It's not just the glam, putting on the dresses, like doing the photo shoots. It goes way beyond that, and that's what I want to show Staten Island too, because I feel like in New York in general, the relevancy of pageantry is just not as prominent as it is in the South. You know, you have all those Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia girls going after it, but in New York, it's just like it's a smaller handful of girls that are really competing, because we don't have the amount of volunteers to host these local pageants. But I would love to boost the amount of participants in the Miss Staten Island organization. I mean, this past pageant cycle, we had like 11 girls compete. That's a good number, but I know Staten Island has so much to offer. There's so much talent in Staten Island. There's so many beautiful girls that give back. And so I just want people to see like what the crown could do for you as much as what you could do for the crown.
That's a big sell.
Yeah.
It's a big sell because we already have a stigma, you know, the forgotten borough, you know, so it's like, you know, when we have Miss Staten Island, you know, it's bringing acknowledgement that there are things happening here, definitely, and being able to broaden that, you know. Now, do the pageant contestants, do they have to be from Staten Island?
So to compete for Miss Staten Island, yes, you have to live, work, or go to school on Staten Island. Yeah.
So how was the organization for the pageantry? How they were soliciting for these young girls? Were they going through schools, colleges? Yeah,
usually schools, theater programs, because you do need to have a talent to compete. But now it's a little bit more lax on what your talent is. It's not just singing or dancing. You could say a monologue, do comedy. Like it's just
different talents.
Different talents. You could really do anything these days, which is great because it gives more girls the opportunity to feel confident to step up on stage. And so mainly it's high schools, colleges, theater programs, dancing schools. But that's why social media is so important too, of us like reaching out and trying to get girls involved. And also I think a big part of it is actually showing up in the community and people seeing what you actually do.
Definitely, that's very important, right? So how did you feel when you won the crown?
I was emotional. I was really, actually, I didn't say this before. I actually competed for Miss Manhattan in September and I lost. And so that was a huge bummer. Like coming back, like I said, I took a year off. And then I felt comfortable and confident enough to compete for Miss Manhattan, but I just felt it in the interview room. I was like, this is not my day. Like, this is just, I know I'm not walking home with the crown today. And so I like kind of came to terms with that before the crowning moment even happened. I was like, it just felt off. And I wanted to win. Like I had said at Miss New York last year, I was third runner up, and then I came back to pageantry a year later and I couldn't even win a local. Then I took what I learned from Miss Manhattan, the things that I knew I could have done better in, worked on it for the 2 months that I had between Miss Manhattan and Miss Staten Island. And I felt so much better at Miss Staten Island, just like stepping into that interview room. I knew what I wanted to share with the judges, the passion that I had, how
Right.
I wanted to convey it. And then on stage, I love the on-stage portions. I love dancing. I was excited to show my lyrical routine. I danced to I Didn't Know My Own Strength by Whitney Houston. So that was
okay.
so fun. And then we have our fitness routine. We have our evening gown, and I chose a new evening gown. I absolutely loved it. But it's still like that moment before crowning where you're like, this is like, this, it could be anyone's game. Like a
Right.
different panel of judges on a different day is always going to be a different outcome. So first Miss Richmond County was crowned, and then it came down to Miss Staten Island, and I was like, whatever happens at that point, I was like, it's for me or it's not for me. And if it's not, that's totally okay. If it is, I'm ready to take it. And
Right.
then they called my name, and I just like started crying. And I was just like, this is so like cliche pageant girl crowning. But I was like, it was all that work had just paid off after
Right.
like going through that loss and I was so down on myself after that, but being able to bounce back, be resilient, learn from what I did, or what I
Right.
think I lacked in the last competition. And I came back, and now I'll be competing for Miss New York. And just because I lost a local doesn't mean I don't
Right.
have a chance to win Miss New York. It's always anybody's game.
Hey, listen, you're doing already wonderful.
Thank you.
So definitely, you are the next Miss New York.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah, definitely. Now, how long do you hold the crown for?
I hold it for a full year, so I was crowned in November, and we will host our 60th Miss Staten Island competition in next November, and that's when I'll crown the next girl.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and we are the longest running local in the Miss New York organization, 60 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yep.
Definitely. Did you so as you preparing and all the stuff, right? And you said earlier that you was dance, you went to dance. Anybody that you want to shout out? That
dance?
Yeah, for dance, for anybody that supported you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my dance teachers at Rhythm Central, Miss Christina, who still lets me use the studio to practice for my pageants.
Okay.
And Miss Stephanie Accardo, which has now just become a friend of mine and a mentor of mine. She has really like followed me throughout my pageant journey and been there for me every step of the way. She comes to the local pageants when I compete in them. She'll always give me my feedback and tell me some good, encouraging
Right.
words before I go out there, but also reminding me of, what I could have done better the last time, how to implement it this time.
Right.
And she's continuously just trying to get me out into the community, introducing me to new people. She's the reason that I had the opportunity to speak with the North Shore Rotary last week, because she's a member. Of course, my parents are huge supporters, and
Right.
they're always there for me and somehow make it all work, even when I'm like, don't come, like, it's not worth it, like, don't worry, I'll be fine. They'll still be there to support me, which is, it means the world to me.
Yes, I think that when you're going through something so, what would be the word? Nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I would say, right?
Yeah.
Because it was nerve-wracking for me, and I wasn't even on the stage when I was doing it with my daughter. So
Yeah.
I could imagine, and how that affects, everyone that's going through that,
Yeah.
right? So for the next one that's for Miss Staten Island, like, do you get to talk to them? Do you give them any advice? Did you try to, ease them into it? Because does one Miss Staten Island and then the ex Miss Staten Island, convey with each other and
Yeah.
say, hey, listen, this is what it was, and
Yes, it's a sisterhood. Like
Right.
that's what the Miss America opportunity is. There's so many misconceptions that we're all mean girls, that we don't want each other to win.
I can imagine.
We all have so much going for us, and we're all great at what we do. We all have careers, or we're all studying something outside of pageantry, and it's beautiful that we make time to give back to our community and
Right.
compete in the Miss America opportunity. And the Miss Staten Island organization, like I said, it's been around for 60 years. It has a very tight-knit alumni association.
Right.
Everyone is really there for each other if you need them. It's great to catch up with other former Miss Staten Islands or Miss Richmond County through, grabbing lunch with them or getting coffee with them, but also like just connecting over DMs and getting advice from them. And everyone wants to see you succeed. No one wants to see this organization fail ever. So they're always making sure that you're being supported at events, that you're getting your fundraisers completed, and that you are accomplishing all of your goals. And so they help you connect with other people. It's really beautiful.
Wonderful. I love to hear that. So what do you want to see with your program that you're working on now? What do you want to see it succeed? Like, what are your goals for that? You wanted to have it passed. You want to be able to have more acknowledgement of this happening. And, just tell us a little bit more about your feelings, and then we can start wrapping it up.
Yeah, I just want more awareness for media literacy education. I think people don't actually understand the extent of what it is, what it means to analyze and evaluate and create certain types of media.
Right.
And yeah, I want to see bills passed in New York State, because media literacy is not anti-media. We want to encourage everyone, if you're using media, to just use it correctly, use it wisely to create a better general well-being for our social media environment, since we're using it so much. So keep doing my Mindful Media Mondays. I hope that we could work together with local representatives to have something passed in our local government. But if they can't see the importance of that and pass something, then I hope our community could just come together to encourage one another to be mindful media users.
I think that there's a lot of opportunity out here to be able to bring more of that knowledge through, going through schools, right? Going, even just making a big networking event on that. There's so many platforms that you could use in order to bring awareness for what you're doing. So it's all about having the right support to get that going. So, just keep that going, man. Keep that momentum going. And you'll get there, especially if you're in the right place already, because you're already with ABC, right? So they're the biggest platform. They're a news channel. So anything that you could bring to their attention, and they can come and try to help and support you on that. I would suggest hello, I'm here. Listen to me. Let me see what they can do, or so as well. So. Because we definitely need that, especially in this generation, right?
And I'm glad that you see it too.
Yeah, I've been seeing it. It's just, like I said, the right opportunity to talk about it, and of course it was you.
Yeah.
So thank you, because we definitely do need that. Now, how can people find you on social media?
Yes.
And any websites that you want to say, all of the information that you're giving me after the live, I'll be posting it there. Great. So people know how to contact you, but you can let them know now.
Yes. So my social media, my Instagram is at Miss Staten Island NY. And then also my personal Instagram is Gab_Marinelli. So you could reach me there. Those are probably the best ones that you'll find me on. And LinkedIn, I'm Gabriella Marinelli. So always happy to extend my LinkedIn connections there too.
Oh yeah, LinkedIn definitely is out there.
Yes. And if there's any events that people want me to come to, any, classrooms, if there's any teachers watching this, they want me to come in and speak about this, happy to connect and see what would work for us.
That's amazing that you're making yourself available for that. We also have an organization out here in Staten Island as well that we're working on for mentorship. So definitely I want to talk to you about that a little bit more, because I think this is great, and it could be such of a value.
Yes, absolutely.
To bring that into everyone's attention. So quick question. What do you do on the first thing in the morning when you pick up your phone?
That's a good question. Oh, well, because I have to be up at like 4:30 in the morning for work, I usually, my first thing is to open Outlook, my email, just to make sure no breaking news. like that I'm going into work knowing what to expect, and then I will probably go to Instagram.
I'm telling you, I catch myself there like all the time.
I'll be brushing my teeth and scrolling on Instagram. It's like, put it down, put it down.
Instagram is getting a little crazy too,
Yeah.
you know, but they all are. So that's what it is. But yeah, so definitely, Gabriella, you've been wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for bringing this to light. And definitely, we want to be able to support and just to let everybody know where to find her. If this topic interests you, and you want to know more about it, please check out our Facebook page and our Instagram, and it will have her links there. So if you want to be involved in what she's doing, reach out to her.
Yeah.
She is Miss Staten Island.
Yes, please do. I want to do as much as I could throughout my year. This is 1 year as Miss Staten Island, so I want to make it count.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you will. And you will, because you're already on your way.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Yes.
But I want to thank you so much for being here tonight on this crazy weather.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yes,
of
definitely.
course.
And for everybody, like I said, if you can't catch the live today, please catch the replay. These are such wonderful topics that we have that we want to be able to bring to our audience. And also, again, for sponsorships, please hit me up, send me an email or a personal message through our social media. And if you want to be mentioned on the show, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you just want to have acknowledgement of what you're doing, like Gabriella today, right? Send me a message. I'll be more than happy to definitely
Oh, so
speak to you.
cool.
Yes.
Let's see that event.
Of course, Joe. Yes, June 7th, we are having our Boricua Culture Fest at Snug Harbor.
Oh, that's amazing.
So you're more than
Oh my
welcome to
gosh.
come.
I would love to.
Yes, would she like to appear at the BSA as a guest, say some words to her Puerto Rican Staten Islanders?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. See,
Yes.
yes, of
Yes.
course.
So definitely, Joe, I'm going to have her on our page, and you could reach out to her as well.
Yeah.
Oh, she's right here.
Yeah.
Definitely. And of course, after June 7th, the fun doesn't stop there with the Spanish culture, the Puerto Rican
Yeah.
culture. We do have for June 27th at the Empire Outlets, and we have our 4th annual Salsa Dance Festival there as well.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yes, so I've been doing it for a long time there, and definitely would love to have you, another Miss Staten Island, to come to the event.
Right? Yes,
Yes,
of course.
definitely.
That's so fun.
But definitely, guys, hit her up. I'll have her information there, and if you can't catch the live, catch the replay on our YouTube channel and all of our social media platforms. So thank you guys for watching and also posting your comments. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
And until the next one, bye.
Bye.